can't move this. Okay. Hello, welcome to the Forgiving Tarot. This is your advice for your current situation reading, oracle card reading. So check out your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs, your Mars signs, your stelliums, whatever. To get a message that most resonates with you. I'm not telling you what to do. The oracle's not telling you what to do. Ultimately, you have free will. Therefore, you make the best decision for you and those involved. If you're cross-watching or if it resonates vice versa, just switch it vice versa. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating. It is greatly appreciated. Okay. So let's, girl, I do this all the time, but this time there is a notebook close to me. Okay. Because I need to write down the times so that I can then timestamp later. All right. We are going to start with Aries, just because it was the first thing I wrote down instead of my usual starting with Capricorn. I should have done this before. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let me know if you guys enjoy these oracle card readings. So just hit the like button or you can comment. It helps to know what the people want. All right. All right, all right. And we'll do this right here. So let's start off with Aries. Aries, we are, let's say at 220. Aries, okay. What is the advice for Aries for the situation that they're currently dealing with? All right, 2 cards just literally flew out. I was only going to take out 1. And let's use the Rebel deck, which is what I like to call the bad words deck. What is the advice for Aries? What does Aries need to hear right now in regards to the situation that they're dealing with? What does Aries need to hear right now? Okay, so you take which one resonates most. Sometimes it's just from here. Sometimes it's just from here. Sometimes it's both. So let's see. From here, it says, it's not everyone else's fault. It's yours. You're a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit. Fuck. Shit is about to get real. Fuck. You need your people around you. So, clearly these cards right now are talking about accountability. And I know it's said it in such a harsh way, but look, everyone plays their part, even if it's a little part, in contributing to why a situation is the way that it is, you know? So, and then the other card about you need your people around you. Maybe you're just needing some sort of support with whatever is going on right now. So let's start with this wisdom card that came out. And to be honest, I'd like to focus more on these cards. So this says, I'm going to read you the story. One day, a young sagebrush asks his grandfather how to grow old with wisdom. The elder answers, "We must learn from our mistakes. Before you worry about something, ask yourself if it is important in the future. Enjoy your present form as we all change with time. Is there some wise counsel that you have sought only to ignore it? Are you trying to do things alone? A solution may come from those more experienced than yourself. Stay in the present moment and do not let your thoughts jump ahead. Do I go with my heart or against it? Am I ready to live in leadership?" This is the earth green, which brings wisdom, patience, and acceptance. Sage is perfect when you need to prove nothing, when you choose simply to be wise. There's an ability here to bring serenity to any situation, and indeed it may be needed. And then Destiny is the other card that flew out for you. And that says, black and white are in heaven waiting to go to earth yet again to complete their work. When they meet and fall in love, they learn that they will not be together on earth. In previous lives, their love was ill-fated. They appeal to the council of great spirits who turn down their request to be together. But the great servant appears and grants their wish. Together they accomplish greater things than they could have done alone. Take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? What tools do I need to form my own destiny? Am I ready for my destiny? Black is the shade that demands to be taken seriously, as it absorbs all colors. Black emits the warm, powerful energy of the protector. Unlike black, white is isolated. Together they balance and create. When you will be guided by your angels to what is best for you and all concerned. So there seems to be with these cards an indication that there is some work that is being done here. You know, kind of like saying when something is a karmic tie, there's some sort of lesson to be learned here. Or however you want to put it, because sometimes the lesson is for everyone that's involved, even if it's a little bit. Sometimes the lesson is just for you. Sometimes the lesson is just for them. Sometimes the lesson is not even for neither of you, but for external individuals. You got what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like what they're seeing could affect them as well. So let's say, I'm going to give an example. You're in a really healthy relationship. What would be the lesson there? You know what I mean? Maybe other people seeing that gives them a sense of hope, or it gives them an actual visual that this can too be for them. You got what I'm saying? Wait, why do I keep saying that all the time? Anyway, moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. What is the advice for Taurus? What is the advice for Taurus? All right, Taurus, I don't even need to shuffle anymore because one already came out for you. Let's take out from this deck. What is the advice for Taurus? What does Taurus need to hear right now? What does Taurus need to hear right now? Got it. Get over yourself. Pull your shit together. Help people. Give back. Do good shit for humanity. And you have expansion. Sky God was seeking wise counsel to choose the color of the sky. He wanted the beings of earth to feel serene when they looked at his work. Other great spirits remind him to trust his intuition. He will know the right color when he sees it. Sky God trusts and sees the color clearly. Thus, the sky becomes sky blue. Seeking good advice is vital when you're pushing into new territory. Stay away from anyone who's critical of your dreams. This indicates possibly changing your friends. How could I create powerful alliances? Are new people entering my life? Your life is changing as you move away from the old way of relating to others. New people are entering your life. Relationships may no longer work. You need to reach out to those who are in the same vibrational frequency of personal upliftment. Call upon your higher companions to advise you at this time. Okay, so it seems like what's changing for you are certain people. So maybe you're doing something different. Maybe you're trying to achieve a different goal. Maybe there is, I don't know. It could be friends that are being replaced and you're getting new friends, co-workers. For some, it can be a relationship. Take it as it resonates. Or maybe it's not even being replaced. Maybe just new connections are coming in to help you either feel supported or maybe to learn a lesson so that you can go on this path that you're now on, because something has definitely changed. Get over yourself, pull your shit together. So that's why I'm saying I think something has changed where maybe it, like in the recent past, I want to say, there was a situation where, no, you weren't going to help people. No, you weren't going to give back. And maybe you had to do that. Maybe it was a boundary that you had to set. And now this is kind of like recollecting yourself, getting it together. Expansion. I do feel like this is a card of support as well. And this is kind of similar to the card that came out for Aries, which was also about seeking wise counsel. All right, so moving on to Gemini. Gemini. All right, what is the advice for Gemini? What is the advice for Gemini? What is the advice for Gemini for their current situation? My goodness. Let me pick that up. You have impasse. All right. What does Gemini need to hear? Whatever you're thinking about, don't do it. Now's not the fucking time. And it actually matches pretty perfect with this card that you got. So you got the card of impasse. And it says, Reggie Rust is a guardian angel. One day, two friends, Clem and Craig, are dismayed by discovering Reggie blocking their path through the mountains with no way to get around him. Wondering why Reggie wanted to stop them and not daring to try to pass, they take another route. Reggie then moves on, having protected Clem and Craig from a landslide ahead that would have claimed their lives. This is a reroute, not an ending. The path is blocked and you're at an impasse, but the goal's still there. Don't wait for your present situation to change. Stay focused and find another path. How adaptable am I? What does this card reveal about my feelings and my reactions to delays? What's done is done. This card can indicate the end of great emotional upset. The power to change direction for the better is supported in Rust. Your angels appear to protect you in the long run. This is a detour, not a no. Be in the here and now. Things will change. Go where you are led for now. Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, both of these cards that came out for you, it's kind of like saying, hold on, take a pause. Don't, if there is a blockage or if you're being kind of pulled into a different direction, it could be right now a moment to pause, don't do anything, or just figure a different way around it, or figure out a different route. I feel like this one doesn't necessarily have to, it could have to do with a relationship, but I feel like this is more practical. So maybe something in regards to work or a friendship or family member or something to do with money as well. So take it as it resonates. Just don't give up. You know, it's not a no. It's not saying turn around and don't collect, go. It's just saying just find a different way. So let's move on to Cancer. Cancer. All right. What is the advice for Cancer? 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 You have grief. What does Cancer need to hear right now? What does Cancer need to hear right now for their current situation? What does Cancer need to hear right now? Something could be done and it's hard to let go. Or perhaps you're, I don't know, for some maybe there is ignoring or pushing away a grieving process. Maybe there's some sort of tears that you need to, maybe there are tears that you need to shed and you're pushing it away. You're like, no, we don't need to cry. And maybe you're delaying this grieving process to help release that. All right. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. If this is not about, you know, nourishing yourself, at least in the physical sense, it could be, how are you nourishing yourself? Like emotionally and mentally. So, card of grief says, Penelope meets Pickle, the puppy, when she's at college. They go through everything together. When the day comes much later for Mother Earth to call Pickle home, he dies in Penelope's arms. Her friends are hard on her, suggesting that she should get over her pet's death. Penelope knows she loved Pickle deeply and is simply in grief. Loving Pickle was worth every moment of sadness. When she's ready, she will love again. Penelope and Pickle remind us that what we reveal, we can heal. Give yourself time. You'll love again. If you honor your pain, it will change your life. Is lingering grief preventing me from progress? What can I see in my heart? Pickle represents the strength of character inherent in true love. This card heralds a deep caring and an ability to heal and love again, however deep the pain or hard the challenges you face. Troubled times denote smooth sailing ahead. So, yeah, taking care of yourself, especially if there's something that you had to let go of, or yeah, I feel like it's more of something that you either had to let go of, and for some it's not in the physical sense, maybe it was in an emotional sense, and I feel like you're needing to nurture yourself or not be so hard on yourself. If for some of you it's grieving that, it's actually, you know, feeling that sadness and letting it, you know, run through your body. So if sadness is going to make you want to stay in bed, then stay in bed for a little bit. If it's going to make you want to cry, then cry. If it's going to make you want to eat some food, then eat some food. There's no, there's nothing wrong with feeling sad or expressing that sadness, letting it out. The issue is that when we stay with it, or when it's suppressed, it stays there, and then it tends to become bigger and bigger. So sadness can sometimes turn into a depressive state because it's still there. Like we're constantly feeding the sadness or not allowing it to run through. And when I say feeding the sadness is bad Wi-Fi over here. Are we reconnected? We're reconnected. Now I have to read it again. Give me a second. Leo, are you ready? Are you ready for this? For some of you, you think you've moved on and you haven't. Stop texting. Stop stalking. Stop checking on that person. Just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. So who's worth your time? I mean, think about it, Leo. If you're the king and the queen of the zodiac sign, if you're royalty, isn't your time precious and valuable? Like, isn't your presence precious and valuable? And for whoever this is resonating with, it's possible that you're not stepping into that king-queen energy. And I know that sounds like, you know, this modern day type of talk, but the reality is that you don't have to measure your worth, your value, based on how someone else sees your time, your energy, your beauty, your whatever. Like, however they see it, that's their problem and that's their opinion, and they're not the ones living in your shoes. So if they're not respecting you to the level that you would feel respected, or if they're not loving you, or if they're not, whatever it is, treating you the way that you want to be treated, then why are they worth the king's time, the queen's time? If you, and I like this one, and actually I've been thinking about this one quite often. If someone can't afford you in the sense of like giving you time, love, etc., I don't mean like financially. If someone cannot afford you, why are you lowering the price of yourself so that person could afford you? There's plenty of people in the world who can afford you. You're just going to have to either wait, or you're going to have to align, right? Because you're not the dollar store over here. You're Gucci, Prada, and whatever. Come on, Leo. Come on. All right, so you have the card of service, and service says, I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up your desire. Okay, that's a good point too, because that also pertains to the other card that I just read. So what you want and the giving up your desire, what you want, let's say you want a relationship, right? Or you want somebody in your life who can afford you. It's not about constantly feeling like you don't have it, or just like wishing for it, or being sad that you don't have it. Why isn't it coming now? Whatever, don't think about it. You know you want it, visualize it, whatever. And have those feelings like as if it's really present here. How would you feel right now? Probably relaxed, not insecure, probably feeling happy, right? And then you go about your day, and then just forget the visualization. You go about your day, and that is you being in that frequency. And then something will match up to that. Don't try to figure out how it's going to get there. Just know that it will. Okay? So let's say if you are visualizing getting a brand new car, and you're thinking that you getting a brand new car requires you to go to the dealership to get a brand new car. And you're like, man, I want a brand new car. I want a brand new car. All right, I did my visualization. Yeah, I have to go to the dealership, and then they don't give you a new car, or you don't qualify for it, or whatever. And you're like, wow, but I did my manifestation, my visualizations, and blah, blah, blah. Why isn't it working? Because you got to trust the process. What if the universe, for I don't know. Something happens. Your great uncle passed away and he had the exact car that you wanted because, I don't know, he won the lottery back in his country. And he decided to put you on the wheel for the car. And you're like, wait, what? I'm telling you, man, the universe works in mysterious ways and it's always better than you expected. So know that that's what you want and know that you're going to get it. That's it. Point blank, period. Like deep down, you have to know that you're going to get it, because when you know, when it's a fact for you, you don't worry about it. It's like ordering something on Amazon and then you don't worry about it. You already know you paid for it. You already know it's going to be delivered. You're not constantly checking. You're not, wait a minute, what if they deceive me? What if it's a scam? No, you place your order and you go about your day. And that's how manifestation works. Okay. Honey Adams loves her 3 children very much and had a rewarding family life, though sometimes she regretted never finding a career outside the home. At the end of her life, she realizes that this failure was not a failure at all. She achieved something more important, passing on a legacy of service to her daughter, Franny. Being a mother is a great accomplishment. Are you seeing your life as it really is? Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. This is an opportunity to look at where you are today. Give up what you think you deserve and start being of service. How does the idea of service inspire me? How can I make the most of my present situation? What can I give? You know what I just thought of too? Because this being of service will also help you to take your mind off of feeling like, I need this, I want this. The key ideas for this is favoritism, unwillingness to compromise values, finding contentment, the joy of service, and precious memories, compassion, loyalty, and strength. So I feel like this is really finding the joy in doing something else, maybe something else for another person. For some, it's being of service to yourself, but I feel like there's more of getting out of yourself and and being of service. Okay. The energy here is one of manifesting through being of service. This card indicates a steadfast ability to stay on course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. It can also bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. So it's a card of gratitude as well. All right. So let's move on to Virgo. Man, I spoke a lot. It had to be one sign. Okay, Virgo. What does Virgo need to hear? What does Virgo need to hear as advice for their current situation? What does Virgo need to hear? What is the advice for Virgo? You have workaholic. And you have, fuck, shit is about to get real. Fuck, you need your people around you. Aries got that. So you may or may not have Aries in your chart, or you're dealing with one. Doesn't have to be, but I want to throw it out there. All right, workaholic. While I worked, my life happened. Wow, that's actually pretty deep. I like that one. While I worked, my life happened. So there might be something here that you're missing out for some of you. I also get like the complete opposite. And this is just intuitively. For some of you, there's something that's going to change in regards to work. Like more work. Or maybe this right now is a prediction. Like if you do get more work, or you get a higher position or something like this, or you become a workaholic, maybe this is advice for then. Okay. Brad Blueberry paints and paints and paints. He has no time for anything other than perfecting his art. An elder Blueberry reminds Brad that one day he will be old and shriveled too, so he better live life to the fullest. Brad takes the advice and discovers that having fun enriches and sharpens his art. He finds out that life is what makes work valuable. Well, for sure. Are you waiting to complete your career before you live your life? Busy work may be helping you hide from real issues. Am I working too much and suffering from burnout? Is there something important that I'm avoiding doing? And for some of you, maybe you're digging into work to forget about something, to not feel something. Key ideas, talents, fun, friends, feelings of inadequacy, transformation indicated, not being fulfilled by work, heeding warnings, refreshing your mind to improve your work. Here, the earthy brown of creation mixes with inspirational violet. This card indicates one of the most powerful manifesting energies. Now you're very prolific. If what you are creating stalls, you may need to recharge. Know your limits. And for some of you, that, what it's just saying right now, could be that there's something here that you have manifested. And it's literally here. So don't give up hope. Don't feel like it's not here. And if you are doing too much, thinking that it's not here, oh, I got to do more or whatever, don't. Take a break. All right. Moving on to Libra. What does that say? All right. Libra. What is the advice for Libra? I just saw 3333. What is the advice for Libra? What's up, buddy? What is the advice for Libra? What does Libra need to hear for their current situation? What does Libra need to hear? Oh, you're right next to me. You guys see it? No. My goodness. Libra, thanks for being patient. Check out your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus signs. And if you're cross-watching, I mean, these messages are short, so it's an easy click on the timestamp and check it out. If you're in the live watching this, thank you for your patience. Libra, come on. What is the advice for Libra? Why is this taking forever? What is the advice for Libra? Okay. My goodness. Libra, you have creation and impatience. You see that? Did you see that right there? Where I was like, come on, come on. Why is this taking forever? And the card that comes out is impatience. What is the advice for Libra? What does Libra need to hear? That project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The world has your back. So that's encouraging. And it's funny because that project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get on it. And you have the card of creation. So creation says, in a time before history, she shaman walks the earth, bestowing artistic talents on a select few. One day she rests under a birch tree. "Hey," says Birch, "I want my muse too." Birch entertains She Shaman for a long time, singing and telling tales. She Shaman smiles. "My friend, you have had your art all along." She vows that from then on she will give everyone their own gift. To this day, She Shaman has never left us. We see her inside every creative work. Your path is an artistic one. Express your love in a tangible art form. It is time to make decisions. Am I waiting for someone else's permission to create my life? What do I need to see in order to claim my own gifts? Keywords: creativity, muse, magic, opening to magic, lasting transformation, divine feminine, awakening creativity, finding your muse, owning your gifts. Letting go of old ideas and allowing new growth are primary now. The mission you have been on may be complete. A new dawn is coming, and it is time to open yourself to divine inspiration. The message here is let go. You no longer need to be a warrior. Libra, I also feel like you've been dealing with a situation that has heavily weighed you down. And I feel like a lot of you have been circling back to the same thing. And I think you've gained enough strength, willpower, motivation, or whatever, or maybe even realization that that has been a pattern and it has been weighing you down. And you're kind of like, if you were facing this direction to that, you're kind of like here now. And very soon you're going to be here towards where you need to go. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now the card of impatience. If I don't take care of it, it will never happen. That's the idea here. And it's not true. Ethan grows impatient, waiting for dawn, so he buys a used moon. Once it is in the sky, he steps back to see his handiwork. The moon will not stay in place unless he holds the cord. Unless he holds the cord. So there might be some sort of attachment that you have to a situation, a person, whatever it is. And I think you're trying to control the situation. If they don't want to love me, I'm going to make them love me. Or if they don't want to change, then I'm going to do this to manipulate the situation. And I'm using the word manipulate in a very neutral sense, not like in a negative way. And what this is saying is you're going to have to chillax and let it go the way it needs to go. And you continue living a good, wholesome life and worrying about your responsibilities and how you take care of you. And if somebody doesn't want to show you the respect that you feel that you deserve, or the love that you deserve, or whatever your situation is, if it's not going in the way that you want it to go, then let it be. Good. Continue doing what you're doing, because guess what? That's more confirmation for you. More confirmation. So if you don't control the situation, let's say this is a relationship, right? Or a love situation. I say there's somebody you want to be with, and that person, they've been dangling the carrot in front of your face. And you're like, well, what's going on? Is this real? Is this like, are you just playing with me? And they're giving you the runaround, right? Instead of chasing after them or being like, okay, well, maybe if I do this or I do that, and I'll get their attention, or I'll make them do it, whatever. If you just relax and you're like, you know what? All right, fine, whatever. I'm just gonna, if you act unbothered enough to the point that you actually start to feel like this, I could care less, you start to see clearly. I don't even know how to explain it. The moment that you feel indifferent to a situation, you start to see things clearly, because you're good with it and you're good without it. Okay? You're good if it's good, and you're good if it's not good. Because you're like, okay, whatever. I have my own path to walk. I have my own things to do. I have my own growth. And that's what it means to love yourself, right? To have self-respect, etc. So the moment that you feel indifferent to how someone is treating you, either they start to change or they remain the same. And if they remain the same, that helps you to be like, oh, okay. Why would you want to chase after somebody who is not giving you the same that you are giving to them or would be giving to them? Why would you want that? Unless, it gives you some sort of excitement that they're treating you this way, then maybe. And then obviously, that's not healthy. So that would be, let's do some work and figure out, why is it that I'm attracted to this? Or why do I attract these kinds of individuals? I was actually thinking about this the other day. Not that particular question, but I was thinking, I feel like I've always considered myself, and I'm sure a lot of people consider themselves to be good people, right? And I feel like I'm a trustworthy person. And I give other people the benefit of the doubt. So aren't I in the frequency of trustworthiness? Shouldn't I attract other people who are trustworthy, reliable, etc.? No. Well, it's also not saying that I can't be that person. But the thing is, it's so much so to the point of not having the proper boundaries. Because, I could be a trustworthy person. I could be a reliable person. So anyone in that frequency, somebody who is not trustworthy, and they're in the frequency of wanting to take advantage of somebody who's trustworthy and reliable, guess what? They're in that frequency. So how do you encounter, or how do you avoid getting screwed over? You put up a boundary, or you walk away. You don't engage in it. You don't give them the benefit of the doubt. You need to balance out who you give trust to, or who you trust, and who you give the benefit of the doubt to. That's also about knowing yourself and knowing when you feel uncomfortable. And your body usually physically will tell you. Like your stomach starts to hurt, or you just get this uncomfortable feeling, and you're like, I don't know about you. You know what? Maybe it's just gas because I ate some broccoli. You know what I mean? No. Libra, come on. And Libra, plus, you're the 7th house. So you're very familiar with how dealing with other people works. And I cut myself off. So, the moon will not stay in place unless he holds the cord. Sky God assures him that dawn will come when he lets go. But Eton is fearful and grips onto the cord until he falls asleep and releases it. When he awakens, dawn has come and the radiant light in the sky is blocked only by his used moon. Now is not the time to make a rush decision. You have made your needs known. Now leave it alone. This very much pertains to what I was saying. You've made your needs known. Now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Am I jumping the gun? If I'm honest with myself, am I forcing something? Keywords: unfolding, revelation, success, scarcity thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience. And sometimes you might be so focused on one thing, saying, no, this is what I want, this is what I need, whatever. And the universe knows exactly what you needed because you made your needs known. And here's something else that's going to be coming in, but you're too focused on something else that's not even worth your time. Or maybe it was worth your time at one point, but now it's not. Impatience, where are you? Okay, your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy, not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. Being present. And you know what? That project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get on it. Maybe that's what's coming in. All right, moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, where are we at? Let's do 46, 46. Scorpio. What is the advice for Scorpio? What is the advice for Scorpio? Let me know if these resonate with you. If they don't, you know, you don't have to leave a hate message. No, this didn't resonate with me. Oh, okay. You know. You have 3 cards. Man, Scorpio, you have impatience, insecurity, facade. You know what's interesting? I was looking at the letters and there's I, F, and I thought of if. Maybe for some of you, you're saying the what ifs. All right, what is the message that Scorpio needs to hear? Check out your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, stellium, whatever, cross watch. I mean, just watch all the signs. There's going to be a message that resonates. And I know that sounds like, well, obviously one is going to resonate with me. Well, yeah, because we have all these signs in our charts anyway. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you don't have to have a planet in that sign. You have a house in that sign. And the house are, you know, topics. Let's say you have, I don't know, Aries in your 9th house, which I believe that would be for a Leo rising, but you have no planets there. The 9th house is originally the house of Sagittarius. So imagine a house that's built by a Sagittarius and they decided to rent it out and an Aries comes to live in it. Makes sense. They're both fire signs. So it would work nicely. So an Aries in the house of Sagittarius, the house of Sagittarius probably has like some souvenirs, right? Because traveling, that's Sagittarius. Higher knowledge, maybe some books or something, college-worthy books. What else would be Sagittarius? Probably a book with a bunch of jokes. Maybe some books that say, don't take life so seriously kind of thing. We are on Scorpio right now. So an Aries would almost kind of like, they'll be into these things as well. And behave like an Aries with these things. So if Aries is a leader, it is the baby of the zodiac, they probably, and they like to kind of like play fight, can throw a tantrum. So like with, I don't know, with like the higher learning thing and they step into their Aries energy, this leadership, maybe if they're more inclined to higher learning, you know, going to school, or even if you're not going to school, but you're just doing self-learning, like you're learning on your own, reading books, listening to videos, getting more information, right, to be more knowledgeable about a particular thing. You're doing it like an Aries, and Aries is first at things. Aries, and also because Aries is like the baby of the zodiac, right? The toddler. Toddlers are curious. Not just Gemini. Toddlers are curious. So Aries wants to know. Anyway, yeah, so it doesn't really matter really what sign you're hearing for. Sometimes you could be like, Sometimes the message could just resonate with you, period. All right, so Scorpio, sorry for blabbing. What is the message for Scorpio? So far you have impatience, insecurity, and facade. Wow, so facade and insecurity have a lot to do with deeper things, like childhood things, or for some, like something that was really ingrained or traumatic. What does Scorpio need to hear? You know what's funny, Scorpio? I'm getting annoyed that I have to keep shuffling, and I was doing that in the Libra reading, and they also got the card of impatience. So you could be getting annoyed with something or someone. The moment I decided to relax, I don't know if you saw on camera, if it even showed, and I was just like, release, 2 cards came out. You equals tight ass. Loosen the fuck up. Control freaks don't get laid. Now, this is not saying anything, like it's not literal, okay? But you might be trying to control a situation. Winning. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. So you're winning at something. And maybe right now you're trying to control it to keep that win. Or maybe to have that win. All right, let's read impatience. Ethan grows impatient, waiting for dawn, so he buys a used moon. Once it is in the sky, he steps back to see his handiwork. The moon will not stay in place unless he holds the cord. Sky God assures him that dawn will come when he lets go. But Ethan is fearful and grips onto the cord until he falls asleep and releases it. When he awakens, dawn has come and the radiant light in the sky is blocked only by his used moon. Now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known, now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Am I jumping the gun? If I'm honest with myself, am I forcing something? Keywords: unfolding, revelation, success, scarcity thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience. Your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. Your next card is insecurity. Bob is an inventor, yet never finishes anything. Always gives up on his projects, convinced they're useless. One day he finishes something and is elated, until a demon appears taunting him. The demon red rainbow is comprised of our greatest fears. In a dream, Bob discovers that he can distinguish between real and imagined fears. The demon red rainbow can no longer stop him from realizing his dreams. Miraculous changes lie ahead. Life always takes a turn for the better when we face our demons. Stay on course. Trust that an ally will appear. The gift of adversity is never given without the ability to overcome it. Do I listen to my fear? How can I tap into my courage? Keywords: freedom, bravery, success. You had success for the other card too. Being courageous, facing adversity, finding tremendous power within, undervaluing your contribution. So both cards here have to do with fear. So Mr. Eaton over here, excuse me, he's fearful. That's why he buys the used moon. Because he's impatient. But why is he impatient? He wants something to happen. He needs something to happen now. Because deep down there's a fear here. Either, oh, it's not going to happen. Or, oh, if I don't do this. There's a fear here. There's a lack of trust there in the universe, in God, whatever. higher self, whatever you want to label it as. And this card, the insecurity card, is also has to do with fear. So there's an insecurity with the impatience card. And what was your next one? Facade. Let's read. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's more. The insecurity card. Energy turned within can lead to fear and stagnation. Courage is necessary if you're to be fearless and move forward. This is a message to grow up inside, into a greater energy, to invoke courage from the angels to progress. Hey, guitar lover. I don't know why, like, one message is turning into 4. All right, so your next card is Facade, and this says, the bronze boy Darnell was young when his father died, and he became the man of the family. Out for a walk one day, many years later, he was mesmerized by the sight of children playing. As a child, he never played, and he hid behind a tree, crying bitterly, then quickly buried his emotions. At the very end of his life, on his way to heaven, he stopped at the park and finally reclaimed the inner child he had left behind many years before. If you're unhappy in your relationships, you may be relating to others through a false sense of duty. Give up being something you're not. Bronze God is about reclaiming life. What have I done to heal my childhood pain? Keywords: recovery, integration, play, disassociating yourself, reclaiming your life, healing childhood pain. So some sort of past thing that became a trauma for you has created this insecurity, which led to being impatient. So for some of you, maybe, I don't know, maybe the trauma is not feeling good enough or not worthy. So now you have this insecurity, and every time you go and do something, you don't say it to yourself because this is a subconscious thing. You might think you are worthy, like, oh yeah, I'm worthy of this. But deep down inside, it's a little voice saying, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because remember when the blah, 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 and then you become impatient. Oh, no, you know what? Well, what if this happens? Because that's the voice saying you're not worthy, right? You're like, oh, well, I have to do this. So there's a need to control. So something here, Scorpio, is something that you're trying to control. And you could tell me all day and yesterday that, no, I'm not trying to control anything. Yeah, there's a sense of wanting to control something. Oh, this is very similar. Like, I'm getting a feeling, and it's very similar to what I was saying to Libra. You're going to have to let something go with the flow. And cliche, if it's meant for you, then it'll stay, or it will come back to you, or whatever. What I had told Libra, you're going to have to go about your life and be indifferent to whatever it is that you're trying to control or trying to hold on to, whatever. And I don't mean be a bitch about it. I mean, just don't let it have such a strong hold on you, whatever this is. So if you're having like an issue at work, for example, let it be. Do what you need to do. You be a responsible, whatever it is that you are at your job, coworker, boss, manager, whatever. You do what you need to do. And don't be so weighed down on is Joe Schmo going to act right? Is Bob the Builder going to give me the position? If you have made your needs known, let it go. You made it known. Now let's see how it goes. I mean, you can do a reminder, but the reminder should just be that, a friendly reminder, not because it's nagging at you and you need it to happen now. So, moving on to Man, I've been very chatty Cathy. Where are we at? I was going to say $1. 1 hour. 1 hour and let's say 29. All right. Sagittarius. What is the advice for Sagittarius? You know what? I almost feel like, and I could be, actually, I'm not going to say I could be wrong because I don't feel like I am. What I meant to say is that it might not come out with the advice, but I get this sense of you're the opposite. Card just fell out for you. Oh, 2 cards. You're the opposite of Scorpio and Libra. I think you have already let go of something. Or it's not necessarily, yeah, maybe it is let go. To me, it feels like you're at a different wavelength. You are kind of like you gave the finger to whatever it was. This is literally what I'm imagining. You gave the finger to whatever it was, and you're like, whatever. I'm going about my life. So, you need a good fucking cry. Hey, Kenny. I just did Scorpio, by the way. So for Sagittarius, you need a good fucking cry. Get the ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. You are loved. You're here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. All right. And then I'll get back to that one. Let's read the card that you have. So first card that came out for you is guilt. I really like this card. Apricot truly is a saint. She sets aside her own needs and happiness to help others, even allowing freeloading friends to get involved in her business. One day, her latest business partner announces that she wants to dissolve their company and split the profits. Apricot stands up to her. The company is hers and she did all of the work while the so-called partner did nothing. Now she will only give from her excess, not from her reserve. Do not do for others what they need to do for themselves. Speak truth from the heart. Honesty is freedom. Any guilt is fear of being disliked. Am I giving away too much time and energy and resenting it? Is my anger really guilt? Keywords: awareness, awakening, release, self-care, burdened by obligations, enabling others, finding personal power. Where's guilt? This card indicates deep caring and protection from emotional hurt through standing strong in your emotions. There's there's great inner resolve here. Once your mind is made up, you can see when others have tried to manipulate you. Reclaim your life. I mean, I feel like for most of you, Sages, especially because I did your reading, when was it, yesterday? That's exactly what you're doing. You're seeing when you're being manipulated. And the little quote says, I'm sorry, but I have to take care of myself. And I really do like the do not do for others what they need to do for themselves. Regardless if you know how to change their life, if you know how to fix their life, if you know what the best course of action is for them. You're a Sagittarius, not a Virgo. That was just a little jab. I'm kidding. Because, Virgos tend to be like, I know the right way. You need to follow it. Because they're the nurses of the zodiac. That's why. The next card you have. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. That was so cringe. Ugh. Now a little part of me feels embarrassed, but not really. I am more than I think I am. Life is easy for young Pink. He takes his gifts for granted until one day he loses Petunia, the love of his life, forcing him on an inner journey. He works hard on himself, hoping for another chance that doesn't come. In desperation, he consults Sky God and learns that Petunia is incapable of receiving love. Pink recognizes that Petunia's role in his life has been to expand his capacity to love. Ooh, that's a good one. And I'm saying that because that actually, and I've read this card already a few times. It doesn't come out all the time, but I do remember, and it never really dawned on me, this particular sentence, and it just dawned on me, like I just had a realization. Sometimes your role in another person's life is exactly this. For them to realize, like, your role in their life is probably to be, where's the card? Sorry, I got all scattered. This individual, I help you, I help fix your life, I give you answers to your problems, I've been good to you, and this is how you treat me. Yeah, you know what was needed? They needed to treat you that way so that you can leave. What? It's in, sorry, I'm just saying this now. It should be in my about section on the channel. So they treated you a particular way, which triggered you to be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm leaving. And by you leaving, this is the lesson that the person needed to learn. So by you staying maybe in a situation is not helping. It's just enabling, and they're not learning whatever it is that they need to learn. Or sometimes it's not even about learning. It's about the expansion, right? So you leaving now triggers this person to be like, shit, I didn't want to lose Sag. Or maybe this is vice versa. Maybe this is for you, Sag. I don't know. I didn't want to lose Sagittarius. They were so good to me. I treated them poorly. And then doing this reflection and like, okay, you know what? I need to win them back. And then they try like, oh, I'm going to fix myself. I don't know. I'm going to change certain patterns, behaviors. I'm going to stop being a drug addict. I don't know. I'm just giving examples. But whatever. And they change their life, right? Just to win you back. To then realize that, you know what, Sag, you found somebody else, or you just, now you look at them and you're like, I don't know what I was thinking before. And usually that tends to happen because we are now at a different frequency. So we don't see the attraction, not because the person is ugly. It's just more, the frequency isn't matching anymore. And that's why you don't find the person attractive. Because many people might not think this, but having a sexual attraction is for the purpose of merging, of bonding. Okay, that's why you feel a bond. That's why some people get attached when that happens. And, to really, personally for me, and this is my personal opinion, and to be honest, I think it's actually the universal cosmos opinion. Right? Because that act is something that is created by universe. Like the universe put that desire, that action into the human form so that we can bond. And it's very true because it's not just an act of feeling good. There's literally a merging because it's your energy, their energy. You get what I'm saying? I don't even know why I said this. I got lost. Anyway, so now, I remember now. So, and now you don't want them. And that was just to help them be able to change themselves, be able to maybe take accountability or, something positive comes out of that. What else is this saying? Are you trying to recapture a past that no longer fits? If you're presently upset or struggling with a difficult situation, you may be seeking to keep something that is far less than what you deserve. Am I happy in this situation? How is this benefiting me? The healing of predetermined agreements must be addressed. Awareness is healing. The keywords are uplift, journey, commitment, leaving the past behind, a readiness for a new adventure, a willingness to venture into uncharted territory, and a new level of self-care. I like that one. That one actually, I think, resonates with this. In the past, you may not have been ready to fully face the facts. Being willing to take the journey regardless of the outcome will prove rewarding. Get ready to carry a commitment through to completion. This makes sense. So something, yeah, some sort of awareness that you've gotten. And you're loved. So if Joe Schmo did not love you, Sag, you're loved. Whatever. If we just look at situations that bother us, if we look at them neutrally, and I know that's so difficult to do, if we look at it from an outsider's perspective and just be emotionless, we can see what's right and wrong. And it's easy for us to be like, okay. And if we were able to just put ourselves in our own shoes and their shoes and see both perspectives and kind of like see, because it's very easy for us to tell the other person, well, this is what you need to learn and this is what you need to change. And that's why, being in a relationship and other people telling you, hey, I don't like this. You reflect, is this, something that I can change? Is this something that's a habit of mine that, I want to keep? How do I benefit this person? How do they benefit me? Like, are we working together? Are we meshing well together? Are we matching frequencies? Are we elevating together? Anyway, I'm talking too much. Sag. Thanks for listening to my rant. So Capricorn is next. Let me see the time on my phone till here. Give me 1 second. I'm back. Oh no, aren't I? Okay. Capricorn. What is the advice for Capricorn? Is it charging now? Yes. Oh, it was about to die. All right, Capricorn, you have renewal. Oh, that feels so fresh. I don't know how to explain it. Like, when I'm reading cards and I'm reading it for, it's freezing in here, and I'm reading for each sign, there's such a difference. Like, I'll have maybe 2-3 signs, same energy, or in this case, 2 signs that have the same energy. And then the next sign, the third sign, had a different energy, but it kind of like, there was a little bit of that. And then the next sign, there's like fresh, it's different. Bro, I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't know. But it's real. You have renewal, and let's take out What does Capricorn need to hear right now? What does Capricorn need to hear? For some of you, you're setting roots somewhere else, like somewhere completely different. So if you are not moving, because what I envisioned was like a tree being replanted, and because that's what this card is about. But I wasn't really thinking about what is the card about. The image literally just popped into my head of like a tree being pulled out and seeing the roots and it being placed somewhere else, but somewhere completely different. So for some of you, this may be happening or is happening now. Maybe it happened already. A move. And it feels like, if you're in the States, moving to a different state than where you're currently at. If you are in, I don't know, let's say you live in a really big city and I don't know, let's say you live in the ghetto and now you're moving to like the upper class where the rich people live in your town or in your city. There's like a drastic difference. And I feel like that could be for Capricorn risings, because rising has to do with what's currently in the physical form. If you're a Capricorn moon, I would say there's a move, maybe even in like how you feel about something, because moon is emotions. If you're a Capricorn sun, it could have to do something more on a soul level, like moving from one frequency and now you're at a different frequency. Okay. Don't fucking force it. Allow that shit to come to you. Geraniums leaves shrivel and are stolen by the wind. She's pried from her from her pot and is deeply saddened when she's thrown away. But when she awakens, she is blooming once again. Now she lives in a large park, a former landfill site, surrounded by lush greenery, and her roots reach deeper than ever before, opening her to the possibilities of her new life. What appears to be an end may not be one after all. This may turn into a remarkable opportunity. Trust that whatever is coming is better than what you have known to this point. Am I positive in the face of change or defeated? Am I ready to step into the new me? Keywords: regeneration, awakening, fortune, sourcing from a more beneficial place. Feeling in the dark, change in circumstances, unexpected blessings. This is another beginning. Oh, I like that phrase. You're being offered a chance to awaken to a new life. You may need to deepen your roots and anchor yourself by taking stock of what you would like to create. This is a time to start again and grow a strong foundation. I like that. Me gusta, me gusta. Oh, I didn't write the timing for Capricorn. This always happens. There's always one sign that I don't write for. Okay. And I know I purposely said me gusta in a very American accent. Okay. So let's move on to Aquarius and then to Pisces, and then I will leave you alone. But thank you for staying and for showing up. Aquarius. What is the advice for Aquarius? What is the advice for Aquarius? Oh, forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness. This is actually a really, really nice card. These cards actually came out quick, so I'm going to take that as, oh, this card came out for another sign. I think it was for Libra. The cards came out fast, so I'm going to give me 1 second. I need to really take this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm like staring at the thing waiting for... Okay. Okay, sorry. I needed to get back into the reading because literally having to take this threw me off. Get here. All right, Aquarius. Sorry for making you wait. Thank you for your patience. You know what? For some of you, you're dealing with the Libra or you have Libra in your chart. And it doesn't have to be necessarily that. Maybe it has to do with topics of wherever Libra is in your chart. So let's say it's your 4th house. Maybe it has to do with your mom, your home, whatever else the 4th house is. But anyway, take it as it resonates. It's funny that I said that because the forgiveness card talks about a mother. So maybe there's something here to do with mom. Okay, that project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The world has your back. We never forgive others. We never forgive others, only ourselves for having judged them. In the town of Amethyst lives Rhonda Rhino. She doesn't take her mother's drinking problem personally, but she dreams of becoming a beloved family pet. One day, gunfire rings out. Rhinos scatter and a small human child is caught up in the chaos. Rhonda picks him up and runs to safety. Humans discover the pair curled up asleep under a tree, and they shoot Rhonda with a sleeping dart. When she awakens, she's in a garden with a little boy and his family, Rhonda's new family. Rhonda's true essence lies in not harboring resentment. She transcends forgiveness because her focus is on her intention, not on her pain. This may be a time of family healing. Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? Keywords: belonging, self-forgiveness, fulfillment, wishes fulfilled, holding on to dreams, past wounding. Amethyst protects us from the toxic situations, from toxic situations. This card indicates healing and allowing yourself to return to the natural state of peace once again. Remember, we never forgive others. We only forgive ourselves for loving others who betrayed us. This is a time of personal evolution. Yeah, for some of you, this has to do with, who was I saying to? Was it Scorpio? Something about, or maybe it was Sag. No, I think it was Scorpio. Deep-rooted issues, and maybe there's a clearing of that, or at least it's not even a clearing, just more of looking at the situation and understanding that now at the age that you're at now, that you can let it go, that maybe holding on to it protected you. Let's say, I don't know, let's say your cousin betrayed you when you were 13. And it was like so profound for you because you guys were so close. And you're like, you know what? I can't trust family now. And now everyone got the shit end of the stick where Aquarius doesn't doesn't trust the family. Oh my goodness. Oh. For some of you, there's something that you have to say to someone. Because that literally just came out of nowhere. Maybe you think, oh, I don't have anything to say. Maybe there's something that you've been deep down inside wanting to say something to someone. It could be about asking for forgiveness. Oh my goodness. I'm not crying, by the way. But it sounds like it. It's just... Maybe you want someone to apologize to you. And if that's the case, if you are going to approach someone, don't be stuck on the idea that this person has to apologize. Express how you feel and how they affected you. But have no expectations. The only expectation is, hey, I'm pouring out what I have because I'm done holding on to this resentment, to this hatred, to this whatever. And prepare yourself to accept whatever outcome it is. They may apologize. They may be like, oh man, I didn't know that I affected you that way. I'm so sorry. Or they may be like, it wasn't that big of a deal. I don't understand why you would hold on to this. And if that